Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Neil Haley Show. You can check me out on Twitter at Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley Facebook, LinkedIn Neil Haley, Instagram Total Tutor, Pinterest Neil Haley, Google Plus, and also on Periscope at Total Tutor and Total Radio Net at Twitter. And I'm excited to welcome a program my guest, Xiomi Franz Kuber. Thanks for calling, and how are you?
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, for sure. And you have a wide variety background for tell our audience a little.
Dossier.
Yeah, a whole dossier. That's a perfect thing in 15 minutes that we won't be able to cover, but we'll try our very best to do that. So tell me a little bit about your background, and we'll get right into what's currently new with you.
Okay. So how everyone would probably know me is through modeling. I started out modeling when I was about 17 years old, modeled for a while. Then there was a little show, I don't know if you've heard of it, maybe America's Next Top Model.
Yes.
Have you heard of that show?
Yes.
I know, I'm being sarcastic. I ended up being selected to be on that show. Once I did the show and the show was over, I continued to model. After modeling for many, many years, I decided, okay, what do I want to do?
Right.
Before modeling, I actually, I was a broadcast journalism major, so I went to Fairleigh Dickinson and got my first degree in that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But since I started modeling after going to school, I didn't really, do anything in that field. So I was kind of at a crossroads where it's like, okay, what am I going to do? If I want to go into broadcast journalism, I would have to go into becoming a PA and working my way up, which is a lot more difficult when you're, when you're a little older.
Mm-hmm.
So then I decided to go back to school to go into nursing. Now, my whole goal with going into nursing was working in the field of aesthetics and beauty, and taking my expertise in the fashion and modeling world and the beauty world, and merging that with the medical world and the medical knowledge that I've attained through going to school. So I got my BSN, and I worked for a few years. I met my husband, who's a prominent plastic surgeon here in New York City, and also is a practice in New Jersey. And then through working with him, doing injectables with him, things of that nature, I decided I wanted to get my master's. So right now, I'm actually in school getting my master's. I'm almost done. I'm in clinical rotation.
Oh, wow.
To be a nurse practitioner. Yeah, so I will be an advanced practice nurse. So basically, I'll have prescriptive authority. I'll be exactly like a doctor without the MD title. So I can do anything a doctor does, prescribe.
Oh, wow. So you're busy in school. You're staying busy with school, aren't you? A lot of study.
I'm extremely busy with school. And not only that, I mean, it's so funny how everything comes around 360 because I'm in school busy with that. But now, look at this. All this broadcasting stuff is coming back in my lap. So in addition to taking, the break and going to school, going to nursing the beauty and
right.
Now I make appearances as a beauty lifestyle expert.
Oh, wow.
I've been on various TV shows. This is just my expertise. It's something that I love. I have a website, Don't Ever Say Never, that I'm extremely passionate about. And it's about bringing beauty and wellness and lifestyle to women that may not want to go on the internet and look for medical journals or look for information. Sometimes when you go on the internet, you're not sure if the information that you're getting is accurate. So my website's amazing in that way, and I'm doing so much, and it's amazing how everything comes through 360 because initially I went to school for broadcast journalism straight away, and I'm kind of coming back into it again. So it all is amazing how life works in that way.
So let's go. I'm trying to understand your story. Thank you for giving that quick background. That's great. You did it awesome. We could tell you're definitely a TV. We could tell you're a TV personality because you just gave us everything, and in such a quick period of time. And I started out my day at 8:50 interviewing Michael Harney from Orange Is the New Black. So I've been all over the place all day, and this is so we're having this kind of day and. I'm throwing different people in. We're doing TV right now as well. So your picture will be on the TV network part of my thing too. So just like the phoners for TV, but also goes out to syndication and radio. So, and we're live. So all these different types of things. So let's go right to the first point. The first point I want to say, so going to school first for undergrad, that's before America's Top Model, right?
Yes, yes. So when I got my BA in communications and broadcast journalism, that was before Top Model. My mom actually did not want me modeling until I had my education. So even though I modeled, I graduated high school at 17.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because my birthday was in December. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so you do that. Yeah, I'm listening. Are you there? You hear me?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay. No, I was just, there was a pause because you said about you graduated. And so once you, so your mom wanted you to go graduate from school, but then getting involved in this show and modeling and getting around the show, it was different because you were already had a degree, right? Compared to a lot of the other people.
Correct. Yes, I already had a degree going into the show. I did. And it's like I said, my mom would not allow me to say, okay, you know what, Mommy, I want to be a model. So my mom was like, no, that's not happening. You're going to go to college. And then if you want to model, during your break, you can do that. Or, it was something that I kind of didn't have a choice, but I'm glad that I did. It was the best thing I've ever done was go to school 3 times now.
Well, if you're going as high level as you are now in the medical field, I think you're glad you did go to school. And it's very weird how but you're getting popular again, so look out. We'll see. You'll be working, and I'm sure you'll be walking into the doctors at one point, Sean, right? Being a guest on the doctors, I'm sure, or co-hosting. I think that's going to happen, especially when you get all that more medical background. So going into this reality show, this modeling show, tell us a little bit about the story of how that went and the experience of it.
Okay, so going into the show was a little different for me than some of the other girls because I already, at that particular point, was modeling in New York City. I had an agency, and I was already working in that sense. Now, you have to remember, we have to cut back. This is like maybe a little over 10 years ago, which is crazy to even think about. But there was no Facebook. There was no Twitter or, social media. So it was very, very different the way in which the industry, was back then to what it is right now. So I remember, I was watching season 1 of my show, and I said, oh, this is kind of a cool concept. I think the only other, competition-style reality show at that time was American Idol. So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's like a competition show, but, for modeling, I said, okay, I model. Maybe I can do this. And it was just funny. At that time, they were just, send in a tape, talk about yourself.
Right.
And, we'll call you if we're interested. And I sent in a tape. I think I made it really quickly, and they called me for a semifinal round. Semifinal round. I went to the semifinal round, but I didn't hear anything for 3, 4, 5 months.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh, whatever. I didn't get it. No, I was like, whatever. But I was modeling anyway, so for me, it wasn't a big deal. And then I was on a family vacation in Mexico,
right?
And I actually received a phone call because our cell phone doesn't work in Mexico. So I received a phone call at the hotel from my aunt because I put her down as my emergency contact.
Right.
And she's like, the production company from Top Models was trying to reach you. They need you to fly to LA for the finals. And I'm like, what? I'm on vacation. So long story short, they actually flew me to LA for the final round.
Okay.
And then after the final round, I was one of the people that get on the show. And, it's kind of one of those, being struck by a lightning moments. Because it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance of getting on a show like that. And, thousands upon thousands, hundreds and thousands of people are, applying for a show. And, so just to get on that was really cool.
Okay, so the experience, how close were you to winning?
So I was eliminated 5th. I think there were 8 or 9 of us or something like that. So I made it pretty far. It was, like I said, it was a great experience at the time. I think it worked for me to be eliminated that early because after the show, I was able to still kind of maneuver my way in the modeling industry. And some people knew who I was and others didn't. And that kind of helped me with working. I know some girls, if you're really recognizable from a show, some clients may not want to work with you. So I was very, very fortunate that, I kind of just made it. I made it enough to be known, but also to kind of go under the radar when it came to client booking.
That's fantastic.
It worked out for me.
Yeah, and so then you get back into the modeling gig, and then you decide to go back to school. You meet your husband in that between, all these different things. Now let's place this latest projects. You said you're going back to school, but now your latest projects to promote. Go ahead with that.
Right. So back to school, and in addition to being in clinical rotations and all the schoolwork that I'm doing, right now I'm kind of emerging as this beauty lifestyle expert. It kind of all worked out in a crazy way. It's just the way life has happened, and I've had these amazing opportunities to go on television shows and talk to women and talk to viewers about things for your skin, things for beauty, lifestyle tips, things that I'm passionate about. And it's important in life to be passionate about what you do. And for me, I could do this all day. I'm a talker. I'm a natural, personality type of person.
Right.
So for me, this is something that I can, bridge, take all of my talents and expertise and ball it up and put it into one thing. And it's just been working out amazingly. So I'm really passionate with that.
Great.
And in addition to that, I have don'teversaynever.com. That is my site. It is a site that, like I said, women can go to, that I speak about various things that can help them with health, with beauty, with wellness, everything all around.
Great.
Where it's kind of like a one-stop shop. So I'm very passionate about that as well. And, like I said, everything is coming together. It's amazing how life is 360 back into the television broadcast world.
How are you going to do that? So this is the question I have to ask you. How are you going to do this, especially if you keep getting on different shows? You have, your brand stuff, and then you have school, and then getting a job. So how are you going to juggle all these things?
Here's the thing. Yes, very, very simple. I already have it all mapped out. So as far as school is concerned, I'm done with clinicals in February. Right now, my clinicals are 2 days a week. So, like, for instance, I was just in California last week. I did my clinical rotations Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
I flew out to California on Thursday. I had an event to attend, and then I was on San Diego Living. So giving, do-it-yourself skincare tips, and I'm all over the place. I was in Baltimore the other week on Fox 45 in the morning. Before that, I was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm constantly traveling, but it worked out for me because I don't have a conventional job in the sense where I have to go in and work every day. I'm just in clinicals two times a week. So that's what's been, how I've been able to do it. When I'm done with clinicals and I sit for my board certification, once I'm done with that, my husband, as a plastic surgeon, I will probably come in a couple of times a week, see my patients, do my fillers, my Juvederm, my Botox, my patients that I would see, some laser aesthetic work with them as well, and still continue to do what I do. And even, like, let's say this all branches out and I'm doing what you're doing, or I'm on a television show and it's a regular gig, I would still have like 1 day a week that I would see patients because it's still my love. I still like being. So
you're well planned out. Okay, best place to find information and learn more about you again is your website, and how can we follow you on Twitter and all those places? Where can we go?
Yes. So huge for me. Instagram actually is even bigger, but my Twitter is also, it's all connected. So my Instagram and Twitter handles are don't ever say N as in Nancy, V as in Victor, R. So don't ever say NVR. Those are my handles. My website, www.don'teversaynever.com. I'm very active on the site. You can subscribe to my newsletter. I send one every month, and I'm
fantastic.
Like my site is amazing, and it's constantly updating.
Well, thanks for calling. Enjoyed the story, and update me when you have some new news. Okay, sound good?
I absolutely will. Sounds amazing.
Take care. Thanks for calling. Okay. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. You're watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment. Hi, everyone, and we're back to the Neil Haley Show. You can check me out on Twitter, at Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley, Facebook, and all the different places. And I'm excited to welcome the program Michael Cerbelli. Michael, thanks for calling. How are you?
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Fantastic, man, and interesting your business. It's always interesting to look at specifically anything involving entertainment, right, Michael? And all the different nuances of it, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I'm very lucky to say I've been doing this for 38 years. Tons and tons of stories and amazing opportunities over my career.
So I'm wondering when you're ever going to write a book, or unless you've already written one.
I have not. It's very funny. I'm an Italian kid from Brooklyn, New York, and I always said the name of my book is I'm Jewish every Saturday night. That's the bar and bar business that I do.
Okay, so tell us specifically your background when, kind of the backstory before getting involved in your business and stuff.
Well, it's funny. I started on my 13th birthday in 1977, wanting to be a DJ. And the reason I know that because Labor Day weekend in 1977 it rained, and that next Saturday was the 10th, which was my birthday, and the American Legion Hall hired me to be the DJ block party. I had what they called at that time a half a crate of records, meaning a milk crate filled with records, and it was only half filled. So I played for 8 hours, played the same song 6-7 times, and I got paid $25, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world.
So that's how you started liking that end. That's cool. So you're DJing.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
how'd that evolve?
Amazing.
How'd that evolve?
So from there, it's just over the years, I was always DJing. And I went to high school, went to college, and I was actually working on Wall Street.
Okay.
And it's a very funny story. I'm going to college, working on Wall Street. It's the 80s. And
Yeah.
I came home from work one day, still living at home, 20-something years old. And my mother's sitting on my bed. She goes, "Why do you have all this cash?" She thought I was doing something illegal. And I realized I had a box full of cash underneath my bed from DJing every weekend. Working during the week, DJing on the weekends, didn't need this money. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go into the DJ business. DJ business expanded. In the 1980s, we took over Long Island, where we did the bar and bat mitzvahs. So from being the DJ, I became the MC. And from being the MC, working with the DJ, we brought in dancers. We brought in lighting, videotaping. One thing I learned was never say no. If a client asked me to do something, yes, I could do it. I would learn how to do it correctly, and my business just grew and grew and grew. We took over the market in the 80s and 90s. 2000, I merged my business with another company because I wanted to get involved with corporate. And the funny story on corporate was a gentleman came up to me at his 40th birthday and goes, "You're going to do my incentive program in Puerto Rico." I said, okay. I knew nothing what an incentive program was. I heard Puerto Rico, and he wound up being the president of Shearson Lehman at that time.
Wow.
And he just put me on the road to corporate America. And I wanted to do more. I wanted to understand why they do these meetings, what goes into the production, the general sessions, the breakouts, and all that. So never saying no grew my business where I am today, producing some of the greatest events socially and some of the greatest events in corporate America. And lucky to say there's a great story behind it, but I was able to produce the music at Paul McCartney's wedding.
Wow.
At the Mills in Ireland, produced the music at Billy Joel's, Robert De Niro's, so many brushes with greatness, being involved in there and using them for my events as well.
That's tremendous story of how that business developed and how you became so much more than a DJ. You started that to the emceeing,
Exactly.
and then you're the kind of person, like, we think about fireworks, Cerbelli in Pittsburgh, okay? Well known. You're going to have an event like 4th of July or something. You hire them. You are the entertainment business to that.
I've hired them.
You've hired them. So you know.
One more time, Neil?
Yeah, I said you've hired them, right?
Yes, yes.
You've hired Cerbelli. Okay. So you know exactly.
I have.
Go ahead. Michael, are you there?
Yes, Neil, I'm sorry you cut out there on me. I apologize. Could you repeat that?
No, I just said, so you hired them, correct?
Yes, I have. It's funny, with their last name and my last name, we laughed about it. We thought we were distant relatives.
So I'm understanding how it works. So basically, we hire you. You make sure the entertainment's there. You make sure the lighting's right. You make sure the music's there. And then there you go, right? Is that pretty much what you do?
Yeah, there's a little different background with me. Yes, I am doing that. I am that executive producer. But there, in my background, you know, when I mentioned to you before that I wanted to be a DJ, I guess I was always that frustrated actor that wanted to be out there and be performing. And
Right.
I did for many years, being that MC on the events and stuff like that. But what happens there, I have a very creative head. So when someone comes to me and says, I want you to create something for me, I want you to make this wow, this is the vision that I have for my event, the theme, the conference, where they're going, I'm able to sit down, doodle, draw, put together with my team this vision, and then the people that I bring in become key players. It's not just hiring that firework company or this lighting company.
Right.
It's the right person for the right fit. So when that client asks me for something, I mentioned to you before, I won't say no. My motto is, you need a monkey on a high wire across Fifth Avenue, we'll figure it out. There's a way to do everything, but it's having the right partners. And with the success of my career, people know if it has a Cerbelli signature on it, it's going to be executed properly, and the team there is as important as I am. You know every player, you know who's in charge of lighting, staging, sound, what the entertainment's going to be, who the decor person is, and that comes all from a vision. So learning, creating, putting it all together, that's a big wow for my clients too, because they're getting that as well.
So if I was going to hire you, what would I hire you for? So I'm sorry, this is just kind of questions to really see if it's the big wig. You talked about the people you've done that are celebrities, but what kind of event would I hire you for?
So Cerbelli created the company itself. What makes it fantastic is it could be any piece of the puzzle. Because I am sometimes the executive producer. I just hung up the phone about an hour ago with someone that is a production company. But because they know my background in entertainment, let Michael produce the entertainment. Let him come up with the vision. So I could get a slice of that pie. I could also get a wedding that asks me to come in and make sure we have the great band. Or say, Michael, we need invitations to thank you notes. So I get to be doing that. The corporate America version of it as well, bring in the entertainment, help us produce the general session, do our content, what's our opening act. So the company itself as a creative agency could be anything. So I never say no to any of my clients. A lot of people look at me like, why would you take a simple job like that? Well, no job is simple. No event is simple because there's a part of production that goes into it. Whether it's even the DJ that has to pull up, load in, set up for a simple Friday night event, they want someone in the background, timing, execution, everything, being set up properly, having the right tools. That's something I've learned over the years. The demographics of an event do not change. I don't care what state you're in. There's a part of production that has to go into it. So knowing the simplest event to the most detailed event, which probably just took 8 months of my life, where I probably produced one of the largest bar mitzvahs in New York City.
Wow.
Multi-million-dollar event where we designed everything from the invitation to the thank you note. That 300 guests was supposed to be there. We wound up having 500 guests. We took over the Barclays Center in New York City.
Wow.
And in between all that, it was a wow. Neil, when I tell you a wow, it took me to an area that was so satisfying that you were able to take a simple design and create it, what I'd say, doodle on a napkin and make it come alive, and work with an incredible client that had visions as well and execution that he wanted properly, to take that and all make it come to life and have challenges there. Because when I mentioned to you demographics, if you look at demographics, here's a DJ that has to load in, he has to know how to get into the venue. Here's my event, the same thing. I have a Knicks and Nets game on Friday night, and the Knicks and Nets, it's probably the two worst teams in basketball.
Yeah.
It's going to be a sellout audience in Brooklyn, New York, because they're both playing each other. Brooklyn Nets, the New York Knicks. sellout audience. They leave on Friday night. We have to rip up everything on that arena floor, including the floor itself, the basketball court, push back the seats, load in carnival rides, and
Oh my gosh.
amusement rides that you would see at a state fair. Build a stage that rotates because Pitbull is going to be performing. Take the entranceway and build
Did you just say Pitbull will be performing?
That's right, because Pitbull is going to close the night out, and that's amazing. But for the ceremony, who leads the ceremony? Max Weinberg and the Rock and Soul Band, because Max Weinberg's an incredible drummer, and we're bringing in the drums from Israel for this bar mitzvah. So we have one of the best drummers in the world, Bruce Springsteen's drummer, leading the band for the ceremony, and also coordinating that Aaron Neville is going to sing the first song that night.
All right, Michael. Best place we can find your story's so amazing. We definitely 13 to 14 minutes is not enough time, but best place we can find information on you, Michael, and anything you have new to promote, let us know. Where can we go?
So best way to get to touch with me, Michael Cerbelli on Facebook, Cerbelli, or MC Approved on Facebook as well. New items coming out each week, releasing new great ideas. And my website's under construction right now, but that's Cerbelli Creative. Always open to ideas, helping, supporting people. And Neil, I thank you for this short 15 minutes, but I hope I gave everybody some fun stories.
Oh, we could talk for hours, but we just don't have the time today. But sounds good, Michael.
We definitely could.
Yeah, definitely good. We'll definitely stay connected, and best of luck with all your stuff, okay?
Thanks, Neil. Be well.
Take care. All right, everyone, that was the Neil Haley Show. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, all the different places are neilhaley.com. Take care, guys, and we'll see you next week.